Okay, so the other day I was messing around with some casting resin. I used the last that I had to cast this Lego Mario guy in a little bit of polyester resin in a solo cup. So that gave me the idea of what I'm going to do today, and I'm going to try to encapsulate another little Mario figurine that I got from a Walmart checkout counter. And we're going to cast them in polyester resin. So the idea I had here was to use this glass tube that I bought from the store and place Mario head first down in there. Hopefully I can wedge him down a little further so he's nice tight at the bottom. There we go. We're going to pour resin in there, and once it hardens, we're going to smash the glass open. Now, I don't know for certain. I could just Google this, but I'm not going to. We're going to let it be a surprise. I don't know if this polyester resin is going to stick to the glass, but I'm hoping that we can smash it and the glass will just release, and then we'll have a nicely rounded shape where Mario will be encapsulated. Then we're going to cut this wood block to fit a base around the bottom, and it should look pretty nice. Normally I would measure how much it would take to fill up this tube. We're not going to fill it up all the way, we're just going to fill up right to the bottom of Mario's feet to give the illusion that he's standing within the capsule. So we're not going to need to mix up that much resin. Okay, so I've got 4 ounces of resin in this cup. I've got my catalyst right here, and we're going to add 4 drops per ounce. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And now we stir. We've got our resin nice and mixed. Now it's time to put Mario in his tomb. Sorry if the camera's a little shaky. I'm doing this with one hand on the camera, one hand on my phone, and there we go. We're gonna pour a little high. That way it gets some of the bubbles out. And I'm just pouring up to the bottom of his feet. I want him covered, but barely. Okay, just a little tiny more. There we go. You see it swallowing his other foot right now. Goodbye, Mario. Perfect. Now you can see he looks pretty big through the glass. There's a lot of bubbles in there, but you can see that they're rising out slowly. Now my one concern is that the resin is going to eat away at his paint and kind of taint the color of it, because it looked like it did a little bit with this one as it was going, but it came out alright. A little cloudy on the sides. It was in a plastic cup, so maybe that's why. But hopefully this glass won't stick once this resin is cured. It'll take maybe a couple hours, and we'll see what we got. Now it's time to work on the base. So for the base, I got this nice little chunk of basswood. I got it from Michael's Arts and Crafts. What we'll do is I'm going to take our Mario in glass capsule, and we're going to just draw a circle, a crappy circle, but a circle on this piece of wood, so that we know where exactly it's going to sit when all is said and done. And now we got to cut that out. And since I don't have a bandsaw, I'm going to be using a jigsaw. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw a square a little bit widely around our circle. A little distance, something like that. And we're going to cut out the square first. And then we're going to kind of cut off the corners. And slowly we're going to get a rounded shape, which then will be easy to sand into a perfect circle. And we've got a nice square around our circle. is getting more difficult as it gets smaller because I don't have much room to close. Bada bang! Now we have a slightly awkward shape in this light. We got a slightly awkward little octagon, but it's becoming a circle, so it's got that going for it. And meanwhile, we got Mario over here doing pretty well. Most of the bubbles have receded, except for this one that I just noticed behind his fucking head. Pardon my language. And Mario's got some bubbles behind his ears and head. It's getting to its gelatin stage. You can see the glass actually fogging up right here from the warmth of it curing. So there's not much I can do about that bubble now, but that's good to know for future reference. And it's also good to know that the paint's not getting eaten away, because I had some other ideas to do with this sort of thing. I have more of these figurines, so we'll see. Now we've got a rounded little base. Circle is, now I retraced the circle. It's a bit wider, quite a bit wider than our actual resin piece is going to be. But that's okay, because we're going to do a bit of chiseling. Now we have this rough little pedestal that I'm going to sand a little bit more, smooth it all out, round it up a bit, and then we'll have to stain it. So our base is just about finished. I've got it all sanded up. I'm just going to add some little details on this flat front I've made here. I wrote a rough little Mario on there, and then we're going to burn it into the wood. Sorry about this angle. My camera's not the best, and it's hard to get it to focus. I'm just delicately trying to burn the Mario lettering into the piece of wood. You can have a little nameplate. Just not recording to save space on my phone because there's not a lot, and I just got a little singe on my finger. Very nice. I can smell burning flesh. It's hard to do curves with the wood burner. There we go. So I've got it all sanded into a shape that I'm happy with, and now it's time to stain. I'm going to be using golden pecan because that's all I have. Just dip in a little bit on this paper towel, and we're just going to wipe it on. It's going to turn it nice and gold. And that is our base all finished. And now comes the fun part. It's time for Mario to be released from his prison. I'll try to just chisel it. See what happens. It's quite hard. Oh, there we go, there's that bit. Let's see if we can carefully remove some loose pieces. Carefully. And, you know, I'm doing this out in the driveway so I can run this over later. There we go. Look at that. Carefully pick them up. All the glasses are just sliding right off. That is exactly what I was hoping for. And clean them up a little bit. Alright, now I got all the glass cleaned off of him and we can take a look at him. He came out pretty good. Looks a little bubbly. A couple bubbles behind his head. A little bit on his face. You can see the shine. And he looks fat. He looks like the Mario that got stuck in the pipe. But we're going to affix him to the stand now, and that should be it. The way we're going to be fitting him to here is with a simple little bit of more of epoxy. Just going to need a little tiny bit just to coat the base, so that's more than enough. That's probably less than 1 ounce. Of course, we need our catalyst. Just going to do 1, 2 drops, that should be fine. Now, we mix. I'm just going to, I use a screwdriver to stir. I'm just going to get a little bit on the end. Kind of coat the base a little more. I don't want too much to squeeze out, so that should be fine. Make sure you guys can see me affixing him. And it's a pretty nice fit. Okay, so he's a little special looking, but overall I like the way it came out. Like I said, I have a few more ideas of things I can do with this method, so we'll see what comes next. But for now, I'm satisfied with my little Mario.